Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm Ray Flowers. I love a rumor as much as the next guy. In fact, I will admit to, on occasion, reading a People magazine or two that my mother has given me. But I want to clarify things with Joe Mauer in the rumor mill today, on Monday, the first day of February. Reports were circulating on the internet that he'd agreed to a 10-year deal with the Twins. Apparently, those reports are extremely premature. He's still negotiating with the club. Most reports, though, would leave the deal at a 7 to 8 year stretch of time, somewhere in the $150 to $180 million range. Again, nothing is finalized. The two sides continue to talk and hope to have something worked out for the franchise player that is Joe Mauer, but the deal still some point off in the future. So all the reports you've heard up until this point of a deal being consummated, they're a little bit premature. Orlando Cabrera did sign his deal with the Reds. He signed a one-year deal with an option for a second year for about $3 million in 2010. He'll take over at shortstop and be the everyday spot in the order for the Reds. If he can hit in the second spot, which looks like his landing spot in the batting order, he'll get a chance to hit in front of Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips. As long as he can get on base, that gives him a great chance to score 80-plus runs, to have a 280-plus batting average. Cabrera's skills have slipped a little bit, but he can still be a highly effective member of a batting order, especially when given a spot in the everyday lineup. Willy Taveras, a player that was with the Reds, was moved to the A's. The A's then took Taveras and said thanks but no thanks and designated him for assignment. They'll try to work out a deal with Taveras to another club. If they're not able to do so, they'll have to eat his salary and basically just let him go. Looks like the A's were just trying to get some more flexibility. They don't really need much help in the outfield. They've got a lot going for them there. Remains to be seen what happens to Taveras. Someone's got to have use for that speed, even though his ability to do much more than hit the ball on the ground and play some good defense is in question at this point. Johnny Damon, still in the news, still looking for a place to play. Still don't know where that's going to be. However, a report came out today that Scott Boras, his agent, is trying to drum up interest in the Tigers. It's where Damon supposedly wants to play in the upcoming season. A lot of Boras' clients have had a lot of success with Detroit. Boras himself is very pleased with the way the Tigers deal with their players. As an example, Magglio Ordonez last year was given extra plate appearances toward the end of the season. Those extra plate appearances at the end of the year kicked in an $18 million option on his contract. So Boras thinks the Tigers are a legitimate first-class organization, and he'd like to try to convince them to take on Johnny Damon. If they do, and again, we don't know if that's a certainty at all at this point, if they do, Ryan Rayburn and Carlos Guillen figure to lose the most playing time, as Damon will obviously be inserted in the lineup every day if that deal does come to fruition. Ryan Garko signed a one-year deal for about $550,000 with the Seattle Mariners. He'll be the batter against left-handed pitching at first base. Casey Kochman will lose some work. Probably a good idea. Kochman's a good fielder, but he's barely a major league average hitter. Doesn't offer much at the plate. Garko's struggled against right-handed pitching, but he's shown all throughout his career that he can match lefties. Also could see some time at designated hitter. Ken Griffey Jr. obviously isn't the hitter he once was. So look for Garko to have a good chance at 300 or so at bats this year being moved around, though most of his work will come against left-handed pitching. Jose Reyes. Never has 450 feet been so important. Jose Reyes ran 5 sprints the other day in a row of 90 feet, and it's got everyone in New York abuzz. Apparently, everyone's excited that those leg injuries, especially the hamstring, could be behind him at this point. Looks like he's had few, if any, setbacks at all over the offseason. Again, it's only 450 feet, but that 450 feet has got an awful lot of people excited in Metland, something that they really need after a rough offseason. Orlando Hudson, last guy on the list today, still in the news, still negotiating with the Nationals, belief being that he'll sign a 2-year deal with them, possibly with something around $3 million as a base and then the ability to earn incentives. Nothing close to the $9 million a year that he's searching for. If he goes to Washington, it's going to have to be at a lower dollar figure. Now, there are other teams that are still in the mix. The Indians are said to be interested. The Rockies and a mystery team, another AL-only team that hasn't been named, are in the mix for Hudson. Don't know where he's going to go. Getting late in the preseason here, right about ready to get camp starting with catchers and pitchers reporting in a couple weeks. Look for Orlando Hudson to hopefully have a deal in place by the end of the week. Again, it's BaseballGuys.com. I'm Ray Flowers. Thanks for joining us.